Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator working in Scotland, and I've come on today to show you how I did this card using paper piecing, which is a technique that I really like. So that in this particular card, the lady's dress matches the paper that we're using in the background of the card. Just a reminder, while we're using some of this gorgeous designer series paper in our card today, that today, well, this is Monday the 30th of July that I'm filming this, so tomorrow the sale ends on the designer series paper, the fantastic offer that's been on, where you can buy 4 packs of designer series paper and you only pay for 3. So if you're watching this within time, if the 31st of July has not finished in the UK, the offer probably finishes just before 11 PM on Tuesday the 31st of July. That's usual practice. I'm not really au fait on the times around the world, but certainly the UK, get in on Tuesday, certainly before late evening. Anyway, let's see how I did this. It's a really quick and easy but effective way to make a topper for a card. So pop these aside, and I'm going to show you a different designer series paper today. That was the Garden Impressions. I made those 2 from, but I have already done some cards, so there's videos just a few days back using this beautiful pack of paper. So today I'm looking at another pack that's in the offer, and this is Tranquil Textures. I always want to say Tranquil Tide. So the papers in this are all quite, as the name would indicate, they're all quite textured, and you would initially think, yes, these will be fabulous background papers, but by using the paper piecing technique, we can bring them into the actual main focal point of our card. These are gorgeous, aren't they? Look at this. So the depth in there, and you can imagine the fun that was in making the actual the artwork for these must have been great fun to make. Sometimes think I would quite like to get involved in that process. Anyway, so lots of nice colours in here, Night of Navy, mint macaron, and in this one the balmy blue, and the balmy blue's in here as well, along with mint macaron. This is just gorgeous, kind of makes me think of the sea. It's just beautiful. Anyway, for this one, we're actually using this lovely little spotty pattern to make this card. So really, I'll do the stamping first of all. And what did I forget? A little scrap of Whisper. Right, oh, here I have one. I forgot to get myself a wee scrap for the greeting, but I'll just put this ready here now. Okay. At least I now film at my desk. I used to film in a different room, and so if I'd forgotten to take something through, it was a bit of a disaster. At least now I can mostly redeem myself when I've forgotten. So basically what I've got to make this card is a piece of mint macaron, an A4 sheet. I've cut it in half long ways and folded it in half. This is the kind of standard size that I use for mailing in the UK, and also it's what I usually use for my demonstrations. I do cards in other sizes, believe me, but fine for demonstration purposes, this is the easiest. So, and then I have a layer here which is 14.4 by 10.1 centimetres, and then this layer that's going in the background is 9.7 by 14. So going down in increments of 4mm really is how I work my layers. And then I've cut a scalloped layer from the largest scalloped oval in the layering ovals die. set, which is that's just a staple die set that you should have in your collection if you can. And this second largest plain oval in the set I've used, and that layers nicely with that one. Scrap of Whisper White for my sentiment, and a scrap of the Designer Series paper for the lady's dress. So we'll do the stamping first and then we'll make the card up. So I'm just using all stamps from this set, no other set, and of course, where is the set so that I can show you? The stamp set we're using today is Wonderful Moments, and to me this is a fabulous set that a beautiful bride, beautiful mum-to-be, and this lovely lady who's obviously taken a gift or something. You can use the balloons with her. These pictures are much smaller than actual size. She can hold the balloons in this hand or the flowers. As you see, there's a wee gap here, so you can she can be holding them, and there's a little gift bag. So she's obviously going to visit somebody whose birthday or some other special occasion. I'll let you see inside to see. You'll see that the stamps are a good bit bigger. They're just beautiful. I haven't used the rest yet, the mum-to-be or the bride-to-be, but I will be using them soon. Okay, so I've put my stamps that I'm going to use on blocks ready, and I'm using my Memento ink today. I always find with Memento, I find it easier to take the ink to the stamp, but not everyone might now. So I'm going to pop her on the oval, just try and line her up, and I'm putting her more to this side so that there's room for the flowers and further to and let's hope she works, because I only cut one oval out. Although it does have another side, doesn't it? Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same again onto the little scrap of Designer Series paper, and from that I will be cutting out her dress. Plenty ink on this so that it'll show up on the paper. Now I don't need to stamp on the whole thing, however it'll save too much being on my, so you can just, because you can see through these stamps, you can sort of decide what part of the paper you want her dress to be on. Okay, so I've actually not done that very well because I've not got her arm on, so I've not made such a grand job of that. So I'm actually going to cut another piece of Designer Series paper. I'll just do it on the edge here. What am I like? I thought I could fit it onto that thin sliver, which I could have if I'd paid more attention. Becoming a habit, isn't it, having a wee blooper on every video. This one near the side. But we do have all of the dress on the Designer Series paper this time. Sorry, is that a wee bit off shot there? Sorry. If possible, use scraps. I'll tidy this up later or use more. So basically just cutting the dress out, not worrying too much about how accurately I am on the lines, because I'm going to be sticking that onto there and the lines are quite clear on that. So I'm just kind of cutting kind of into the black line a wee bit. Because this is a bit of a line drawing, it is easy to see. I'll just take that bit out from under that arm. And let's go while I'm thinking about it. This arm's tight into her body anyway. And then that bit. The fussy bit, the bit you have to be most careful is the bit where you're cutting under her hair. So, right, so I'm going to cut this sleeve off. I don't know if I should pan you out just a wee bit. Maybe too far. That's it. Right, so I'm just cutting underneath her hair, but I'm actually leaving maybe, where am I going? Some of the wee fronds. I'm not trying to cut around the fronds because they will be okay. Right, so I've just kind of cut her hair off there. Looks a bit odd, I know, but when I stick it on you'll see that it all makes sense. So before we stick the dress on, what we'll do is we'll put our flowers in the gift. And here's the gift. And where's my inks disappeared on me? On this. I'm sorry if you get my head in the... I'll see what I can do, see if I can do it without it. But I need to line up the parcel. You could do this with your Stamparatus if you wanted. Need to line the handles up with our hand. It's not too bad. And then her flowers, just stamp that off. Put that back on. See, what I've done here is I've laid out the stamps I'm going to use on this bigger block, so that makes it easier for me to find. I often do that even if I'm not filming. I put things out ready for a card if I want to just get on with it fairly quickly. Now the thing to be careful is you obviously don't want the flowers in amongst her hair, so I'm angling this so the flowers are out a bit. And there we go, that's it. She's holding her flowers. So there we go. And put the lid. Oh no, I need a sentiment, don't I? Oh, I thought I was finished. Put the sentiment and then we'll be ready to assemble. I'm really sorry, there is a jump in the film. For some reason my camera must have switched itself off and I hadn't noticed. So I'll just show you what I had done in that gap because I am going off to work and I don't have time to refilm this. So what I had done in that little jump was to just glue together the layers of the card, and I popped in a little strip of this rich raspberry velvet ribbon, which comes in a 9-metre roll. It is so lush, and watch this space. I'm fairly sure there's going to be some more velvet ribbon coming soon. I hope so. And I had cut the sentiment, I'd stamped the sentiment and cut it out with this gorgeous punch, which I still can't remember, is it label punch, or anyway, it's in the catalogue. There will be a link down to all the products on my blog. The other thing I had done, which I shouldn't have done, but the dress I cut out, I've just glued it on top of her body on the stamped image, and you'll see that just looks gorgeous on her. I just glued it down with Tombow and just lined it up with the stamp because I've already stamped her body there. It wasn't difficult to do. So then I've got some of the mini dimensionals, which will be just perfect to pop the sentiment up on. So I'm just popping that over there just now. And I've stuck her dress on, but we still now need to colour the rest of her in. And what I was saying is I've got my blends handy here in a tub, and I don't store them in a tub, I just put them in the tub to make it easy to find them when I'm wanting to colour in. So I'm just going to colour in the parcel and the flowers. I'm using my blends. I love my blends. I think this is actually crumb cake. So just, you know, whatever skin tone you want. We do have an ivory and we have a bronze, but I think I picked up light crumb cake, so it doesn't matter. As you know, we all come with different skin tones, so you just choose the one you want. Let's give her some brown here. One of my ladies actually, I'm going to give her some grey or silver here. One of my team members, we had a bit get together and we did this card the other day, and one of the ladies, she's a young lady too, and she said, I'm going to give this grey here, this lady grey here, and actually that looks fab. And those of us who have gone grey naturally, we need to be proud of that. The young girls are paying to have grey hair nowadays. That just makes me laugh. So I'm just going to give her pink flowers. Do you like some wee pink flowers? You can colour them all different colours if you want. It's just, I don't know what, well, we just give her Bermuda beige shoes, tone in with her dress. There we go. And I think we'll just do the leaf in the Bermuda bay as well. Just leaf on her flowers and maybe some of the stripes. I don't know what we're going to use for the other stripe. In our lovely package. I wonder what's in this gift. That looks nice. Some rich raspberry I think we'll put in there. Okay, so, and I like to use the brush end of my blend even when I'm going in tiny small spaces. Just a very light touch, very light touch. And what do you think will she have? Oh, she's going to have rich raspberry tissue paper coming out of there. Her gift. There we go. That's her all set to go and celebrate with her friends or whatever. Maybe it's a gin party. Maybe there's a bottle of gin in there. Did you all watch my gin video? Okay, so now all we need now is to pop the sentiment on this one. Just using the normal dimensionals to pop this in, the topper rather, on. So look at that. What we thought was a background paper is now the actual focal point of this card. What do you think? I'm sorry that the bit of film where I actually glued the dress down, but you got the drift. You saw me cutting her out, the dress out, and that was the important part, is just the cutting it out. You could do this with any stamp that's got a bit of open area on it. Doesn't have to be a lady, but there are other ladies you could use. You could use the ladies from the Beautiful You stamp set if you don't have this one yet. If you don't have this set yet, I think you need to put it on your wish list at least. So there you go. So don't forget about the fabulous offer on the designer series paper. If you are watching this after the offer's finished, don't worry about it because it's still fantastic. It's fantastic value, our designer series paper. Beautiful. Okay, this one I haven't put a sentiment on, but I will be doing that very soon. Thank you for sticking up for me. Actually, thank you to those who do stick up for me and who do subscribe and comment and let me know what they think of my videos. I do enjoy a wee bit of exchange with you all, but as long as you make your criticism constructive and helpful to help me improve what I do. And if you want to ask any questions, go ahead, just get in touch and I'll help. Thank you very much.